in the hive mind chat, and then all seeing you shows up asking if it's live.
This is her name is Talmavet, which is Hebrew for shadow of death, and that's the
Talmud.
valley of the shadow Talmavet, and that is the valley of the shadow of death. Although she doesn't use it very much anymore.
I wish she would perch up there for the rest of the show. Let me try my psychic powers on your cat. No, don't attack him. Go to the perch. Look at this from there. Okay. Oh no, yes, you. Thank you. You had a live stream chat party while I was on the road, and the music for that was fabulous. But I couldn't chat at the chat party. That was unfortunate. So welcome to
Who's all
where?
seeing you
Oh, you're putting us up on the X too. Putting us up on the X. I like that. Thanks,
on
Elon.
Twitter? Yeah, I mean that's where I I get some people on Twitch. You can only stream to two locations though when you're a guest.
And
Yeah.
you've chosen Twitter or X and your Jacob Federacci YouTube channel.
Those are the two that get the most views. Yeah.
Well, welcome to your those audiences. And since we've expanded to there, I think it's only fair. And since
Saving
Azrael
throws.
was called up, we're also going to have to do some savings throws. In case you don't know, the savings throws are against mind control, which is everywhere you go because words are magic. But if you want to take the dip your toe into believing of it, it's the advertisements you see everywhere are mind control. So the savings throws are a reminder that they are and that you can resist them by the power of survival, your will to survive, your social networks, wisdom, the wisdom you've acquired over the ages, or your power of your very own heart. You choose survival, social wisdom, or heart. I roll the dice. If it's over 10 for that choice, you take half damage from the mind control that follows for the rest of the show. If it's under 10, you take full damage. But remember, Embody, we want what's best for you. Survival, social wisdom, or heart? Mr. Fats?
I always choose heart.
Heart he chooses. How about you? Survivalists, that's a 10 for you. You made it. You made it. Socialist, prime 17. That's always a nice one. Lovers of wisdom. Oh, what do you know? What do you know? Lovers of wisdom. You have a pair of eights making a 16 or four squareds. Four squareds. Hard folks, your bonuses
Fumble.
don't apply. Your bonuses don't apply. That is a nat one on your savings throws against tonight's mind control. Indigo kids, you got 15. You got the
Wow.
15.
Wow. I got a natural one, so I'm going to definitely propagandize myself.
Propagandize. Is that when you fall under your own mind control?
Yes. Did you know Chris's video on propaganda that he made? The music video
Oh,
he made.
your defense against the dark arts
That is
contribution about
that is
helicopters.
that may still be like one of the greatest achievements in my life was being starred in that video. Yeah.
Which makes it exactly the sort of thing we'd like to add to the social memory complex on the Discord. Those historic moments that the new people will hear referenced, and that way we have the social memory complex. They're able to watch them with us or catch up. It's
Let me see if I can.
one of the projects I haven't given up on. Here's a blue church card. The three of clubs. We're getting whenever you type, it's very, very
Loud. I'm sorry.
No, it's almost I'm at a rave and there's thumpings. It's kind of neat. It's kind of neat. Did you see the thing with Chad's head? Like, as somebody I would consider an atheist pretending to be a Jew, not really, man. But as
Me,
far
an atheist.
as far as shit like the existence of ghosts and other weirdness would go, I would put you at nine materialist. And as such, if you haven't seen it, we've had this fascinating event happen on record that we've explored earlier in the live stream. I'd love
Oh wow, CW was there.
Yes, yes, but check out what happens to Chad's head at this portion.
It's Renee. Hey, Raquel. Raquel. Arc organization? Nobody's going to help us out. No.
Right as Chad says, nobody's gonna help us out here. His head gets really big and stretches. Watch.
Organization? Nobody's going to
Oh,
help us
it
out.
does. How'd that happen?
We don't know. It's just one of the. What is this?
Who was that guy all the way on the left? That's the video from that's Pacau's video.
Okay, we'll play it soon. But yeah, the guy on the left was Senor Cebola.
Cebolla. Oh,
he was
yeah,
a Chino.
I know.
You've met him, I believe.
No, actually, he did not come up to me, and I've been berating him ever since. Because while we have spoken like a bunch of times on Discord, he didn't actually come up to me in real life and say hi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think since this is such a special crossover episode, there's going to be people who don't know either of us on either side of our fences, of our flotilla fences.
Who watches my channel and doesn't know you?
We don't know. I'm assuming, like, you know how we have the Mr. Fats nickname for you. I'm pretty sure that over on the pirate channel that's on the Randos, they've got a nickname for me. Not you, the other one. They probably have a nickname for me. But there's the parts of this flotilla is a flotilla of channels, but not all the channels overlap. There's sort of corners of the corner. And you know, we don't know who's going to be out there. So let's play Who Is This Guy for our audiences with the other guy. You go first.
So Griz is the shaman of this little corner, and he's Griz. I mean, what can I say? He's the shaman.
Well, I'm sure your channel's audiences appreciate such a thorough and explanatory introduction. To those of you who aren't familiar with Mr. Fats, Jacob Federecci, I will tell you and introduce him as follows. Mr. Fats is one of the Machiavellian villains of this little corner, seeking to create a tribe of Noahide servant Christians by skimming them off the top of the confusion of their deconstruction into this Noahide thing, which I'm not sure, other than it involves like serving the Jews the way that Renfield served vampires, as I understand it. And that's his chief plot. Meanwhile, he's repeatedly trying to generate not-for-profit entities that manage the donations that come into the corner and somehow haven't landed on Grim yet, which he will be grilled about in tonight's crossover episode as we catch up in our first real post-Chino conversation.
You still owe me $500.
And with that, we get the helicopter Defense Against the Dark Arts we all love the most. Let's see. Can you
I
share
should
full
start
screen
it.
there?
Full screen, okay.
And then play it. Thank you.
Propaganda with persuasion and communication, how human beings make decisions, how human beings are influenced by each other to have technological progress in rhetoric. That's what has happened. New psychotechnologies, too many people think they understand human communication. They don't. I hope it's clear to you that the helicopter on the left would never fly. Helicopter on the right would also never fly. These are just scaled down model. We're talking about technology here, and technology has progressed. Mass circulation of books, mass circulation of newspapers, and that allowed for advertising, and then more ways of communication like radio, television, and now internet came into being. Edward Bernays came up with the idea of public relations. Bernays realized in consulting with psychologists, his uncle was Sigmund Freud, and he realized that there is a sexual element and that cigarettes can be marketed to women as something that is both sexy and that is liberating. It is an incredibly idiotic thing to tell someone to think for themselves. Secure our distributed cognition through awareness, transparency, and accountability. I did not do saving throws, although I probably should have. Propaganda with propaganda, propaganda with propaganda, propaganda with propaganda, propaganda with this is a nuclear bomb going on. Propaganda with you cannot think for yourself. Think for yourself. Think for yourself. Anyone who tells you to think for yourself is your enemy. You should not think for yourself. Our understanding of ourselves and our world is not contained in our own skin. We as human beings have distributed cognition. I am not saying you should not think. You should think not just for yourself. You should think for others, and you should help others think for you, and you should ask others to think. You cannot think for yourself. It is an idiotic thing to say, think for yourself. If you are thinking for yourself, you have decided that you want to field an army of one in a battle royale where there are people with large armies. That's not going to go well for you. Do not think for yourself. Think for yourself. All cognition is in some part outsourced. If you think that you are thinking just for yourself, that you are not influenced by anyone else, you're just being silly and stupid.
And then you unmute also. That was the work of the Chris show there that you were just witnessing.
Chris,
And,
no!
all 377 subs he's got.
Hey,
But I
I'm
just
gonna hit
dropped
1,000 soon. I'm at like 900 and something.
I thought you had already been over 1,000.
Me and
Yeah. And I don't know that Grail Country is optimizing his use of being over 1,000 at all.
he's like at 2,000, isn't he? Something like that.
Are you going to also offer tiered memberships?
I'm not gonna do memberships.
What
I
if
have
they-
told
even if they send you the $500 bribe?
I have told people to please everyone please give $5 a month to Fountain of Comfort. Very few people have, which is kind of disappointing. But I figure if my channel isn't making you want to give money to a mental health charity, then I'm not doing much work.
Say that again, please.
If my channel,
Wait, not yet.
if
Now.
my channel is not incentivizing you to give money to a mental health charity, I'm not doing much good in the world.
All right, thank you very much. That's a beautiful clip. I feel somewhat the same, except rather than the mental health charity, I take it directly from my hand to mouth.
I don't need people to give me money. I earn enough money. I earn more money than I use.
Well, we can always help you with that. That's one of the mysteries we'll talk about. Let's discuss for those stranger to us all as we launch into fame, and they come back and reflect upon these moments, and they don't know one of us, not the people who are actually here. Hey, Joseph, good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, Chad's back. Shouldn't you be sleeping, Chad? You got work in the morning. um, in the concept, in the cons, whatever of the TLC, like say we're going to meet a member of your family who is completely unfamiliar with what you've been doing on YouTube or whatever, but I need a place to stay, and you're trying to talk them into letting me crash at their house, and so that's the context of explaining where. And let's get up to Chino, and then we'll take it from there.
So I had a birthday party where I invited family members and TLC people. And it was interesting. And I introduced the TLC people to my family as these are my friends. These are my friends.
Right, but we're here providing hot, steaming info for my friends that aren't your friends and your friends that aren't my friends and historic people from the future. So, what the is the TLC? How are you involved? Who is Griz, and how is he involved, Mr. Fetz? As if you're being interrogated, please.
So I met Griz, who doesn't allow me to use his real name, so I won't use his real name. Through Mercury Black's channel, when he asked me on to explain to him what the Talmud is. And it was an interesting discussion, and I saw that Grimm sees patterns larger than most people do, and that's why I call him our shaman, because he has a capacity to discern actual patterns in life that are larger than individuals usually have a capacity to see.
Just as a fact check, that video didn't survive the culling of the work I did with that channel. Apparently, we do have that nice Substack piece.
What happened to Mercury Black?
He's still making videos about gophers, as far as I know. That happened while I was driving. I got notifications, so he exists. He exists, as far as I'm aware. Chino was, for me, the first physical instantiation of this little corner or the flotilla of channels that I was able to.
I took you out to lunch at that nice little hamburger place.
You were the first assassin within range of where I physically reside. That is correct. But what that was, your tour was probably, when you stopped by, was probably the first embodiment of a TLC event.
So I'll tell you something that I did when I went to the Lord of Spirits conference. So Father Stephen DeYoung.
Wait. Let me put the Lord of Spirits conference in chronological context for me.
It was like a couple of weeks ago.
Okay, so this is a recent thing.
Yes. So I went to the Lord of Spirits conference in Pennsylvania. I stayed with Nate and Shelley, who got married and have 1.5 kids through TLC. And they're incredibly nice people. They're also Antiochian Orthodox.
Whoa, stop. Now you have to say what Antiochian Orthodox means.
So Eastern Orthodoxy is split up into various autocephalous churches, which means...
All right, never mind. So these guys got married, and what else?
I met Father Stephen DeYoung, and in an incredibly nice gesture, he gave me his personal icon of Moses. And I got to meet the prophet Zacharias, and I got to meet...
Whoa, stop. First of all, that second one's very impressive to me. But the first one, this is at the Lord of Spirits conference only 2 weeks ago, which is what's probably the 8th or 9th TLC event you physically attended?
Something like that, although I'm not sure you could call that a TLC event.
Well, okay. Well, as you were there as a representative, I could. But
okay.
So Stephen DeYoung is the Lord of Spirits podcast host.
Yes.
And if you were to explain what that podcast was about, as far as you know, it would be.
It is an explanation of Eastern Orthodox beliefs to the general public.
It's not about demons and demonology.
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
It's about
close.
enchanting the world and helping us understand the spiritual. They are trying to help people understand the spiritual war we are in as human beings who believe in God.
Wow, I'm trying to understand it from my end. That's convenient. Maybe you should connect us one time.
The spiritual war we are in is important. And hey, put that up. Put that up.
Happy.
Put that,
Be good.
Prophet Zacharias.
What?
Brother Sean.
Oh, he's here. Hey, good to see you, Prophet.
Yeah.
He makes lots of great clips that I get copyright strike for playing. Well, it's more like it's not copyright strike so much as Russia's not allowed to watch, which makes me think they're agentic.
So I met the Prophet Zacharias, and I also met, I think he goes by Cormac Jones. He's the editor-in-chief of Pajot's website. And I decided that in order to force Zach and Cormac Jones and the various members of the Eastern Orthodox Church in Pennsylvania to have to actually physically meet each other, I donated to them in trust Father Stephen's personal icon of Moses.
Okay, so like from a video game player perspective, here's what happens. The character Mr. Fats has infiltrated the TLC network to give him access to various religions and various other connections as part of that network. And as in service to the podcasting arm of some of their adherents, Father Stephen DeYoung, he received a power artifact of this magic icon, which he then used to try and wield the Orthodox faith members like a masterful wizard.
And I succeeded because Zach actually ended up going to church.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet Mr. Fat. Here's his character card. I got a amount of branding I have to play requirement. Here's some.
By the way, I have to say, life is so much better when there's a kitty cat that's in your lap. Like, come on.
Have you
how
ever
can
seen
you
the
not be
film The
happy?
Mummy?
No.
That is the best reason to own a cat. The purring is a side benefit. Yes, Lenny, this might be one of my last streams for a while. I'm apparently having to take a job and get that side of my life sorted. And after having been away for the Wisconsin Death Grift trip, it's a good time to take some time off, really. You know it's a good stream when Griz brings out his low-key Slavic accent. We need new character cards, Matt. I discussed earlier commissioning you to help draw some character cards for us. I was wanting to do more of a, he calls his area of the internet the slums. And I was hoping we could do some more integration with the way Pajot was dabbling into comics. But that's one of my failed projects. And since we've just recently discussed how you positively succeeded to use the Christian icon to wield Orthodox people, let's talk about one of your failures, your epic, horrible failures, which is the pre-incarnation of what is now the fountain of love, or whatever, the fountain of comfort.
Comfort. Yes.
But this weird foundation you tried to set up, where you
Yeah,
set this
the Joyful
passive-
Mother of Children Foundation.
Yes,
I will-
the Joyful Mother of Children Foundation, which also never, as far as I know, contributed to the Griz stream, except for in the $500 you waived my repayment of, and that was you, not so much the fountain. So, what was the fountain of comfort, mothers? What
No, so these were
just tell us the
separate-
whole story, like we
Okay.
never heard of you.
So I was trying to help create something that wasn't just a Jewish thing for this little corner, something that was bigger than me. And so I asked several people to help me find a Protestant pastor who could lead a foundation which could help make this happen. And
making this happen again was collecting money from non-Jews that would help fund what?
Not necessarily just non-Jews, but from people in this little corner to help make this little corner, to pool resources for this little corner to do things.
Okay. So where was the flaw? What was the problem being addressed by the existence of this foundation? Was it like, oh look, there's a bunch of people here we could get some money out of, or there was some method that, like, the way they're getting money through the YouTube memberships is not okay? What was the problem the foundation was meant to solve?
There still is no traffic signals in the middle of this swirl. For example, do you remember my Post-Platonic podcast? Did you like that?
I liked the concept. It was really weirdly nerve-wracking to try and record it.
Oh, did you actually end up recording one?
I got 3 sections of on a hard drive somewhere. I think it's on the laptop that's currently in Vegas.
I actually kind of hope that somebody does pick that up, because I think it was a pretty good idea, but I put in as much effort as I could. But my whole thing, I am trying to help create some structure where we are actually, to some degree, unified and working together, in much the same way as you are. I mean, I've had several ideas. I think moving to StreamYard was very successful, wasn't it?
I appreciate it helps me. It's a lot simpler than OBS. OBS is a lot more cognitive work.
And it's allowed a lot more people to get involved. I mean, I think Grail Country is using StreamYard incredibly well. So I'm happy that some of my ideas have been useful to people in this little corner. And my hope for Joyful Mother of Children Foundation was that it was possible for Protestants to actually do something useful in the world. I'm being a little mean. But I specifically recruited a Protestant minister, and I didn't realize that Protestants just can't work together. So that didn't really work very well. But what am I going to do?
No, but what did you organize him to do? What task did you give this man? Because, like,
to organize the Jerusalem.
Allow me to finish. Don't make me get my Ross Perot out.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. From my understanding, it was like, okay, we're going to set up a Fun Love donations so that we can properly support the TLC stuff. And what I don't know, because nobody has set up a funnel yet.
Yeah.
And then this manifests by the man starting a live stream in competition with me.
I don't think he started a live stream in
It was in my
competition.
slot, man. It was my time slot, bro.
You don't communicate.
And
to
how is
people.
that? How is that leading your foundation anyway? What was even going on there? It made no
The
sense.
hope for was that the Randos United channel, which wasn't my channel, Jeff P owns and runs that channel.
There's
But he offered it up.
First of all, that was
Yeah.
something that I did not like. Was like you came out with the Randos United channel that was not the Randos United.
I
channel.
didn't. That was Jeff.
It came into existence that there was two different ones. Which one is which? Could you straighten that out for me?
Jeff. So when Jeff,
The original is Jeff P's too. He's got them both.
both of them, yeah.
Okay,
all of it is
both
Jeff.
him at least. All right, that's relief to me.
So
Yeah.
Jeff, when he got he came on my StreamYard, he set up the second channel. And now it's back to the first channel. I'm not sure. But Jeff is the guy who was running it. And so my hope was to have somebody, hopefully a CRC pastor, that people could feel comfortable to kind of hold the keys to these types of things, but that didn't work out.
Do you want any juicy details of it not working out?
What details are there? I kept on prodding him, but it didn't happen, and I finally gave up and said, I'm going to create my own thing, which I did with Fountain of Comfort. Fountain of Comfort is my thing.
And how is it different other than your direct control and possession? Like, what is its function versus the function that you were trying to perform?
Fountain of Comfort is a completely new thing where I am trying to get the people who are interested in my channel to help fund an effort towards better mental health in general. It's a completely different thing.
Okay, so it's the people that are interested in your channel and they're funding mental health. What's the connection with what you do on your channel?
If you're listening to my channel, my hope is that the Bible is softening your heart towards wanting to help the world. And Fountain of Comfort is my attempt to actually make that a physical reality.
So it's like, I know you guys are used to giving donations to people doing this sort of work. This is where I want your donations to go.
I hope that you are giving donations to help people, and this is where I think that could do the most good.
The list?
Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room? I want to cast Magic Missile.
The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting Magic Missile. Why are you casting Magic Missile? There's nothing to attack here. I'm attacking the darkness.
I am attacking the darkness, yes.
All right, and so why do you think this is the best use of those funds, and what do they do with them?
Because, well, so far we haven't done anything. So far I have like $100 a month being contributed, which is like nothing. I put way more money into it than that.
I earn on average 3 of those, so I don't know what 3 nothings is to your math.
Less than $1,000 a month is less than how much I contribute to this personally.
But so, where is that money going? What are they doing with it?
Well, eventually we're hoping to actually provide. So Here, this is the website. Let me.
I don't want the website. I want you, the person doing it, to explain where the money goes to me with your voice hole.
I am going to read you what I wrote on the programs page of the
Okay,
website.
you wrote it at least. You wrote it. Fair enough.
I did write it, and here is the thing. And so, one, professional development. There is a growing gap between competence in mental health and professional credentialing. Fountain of Comfort aims to help align professional competence with professional credentials. We aim to provide.
Stop. You've stolen my lobster monkey program. The lobster monkeys are skilled in certain things, such as like making clips, or doing the audio, or doing thumbnails. Those are the jobs that aren't professions yet, that require this professional credentialing you're after. But continue.
No, we're talking about mental health professionals.
Oh well, the credentialing. Okay, but he's talking about psych monkeys.
We aim to provide content which educates both the public and professionals with a view of advancing mental health in our communities. 2, peer counseling. Counseling is currently provided by many different types of mental health professionals, plus many unlicensed practitioners. As part of helping develop the mental health profession, Fountain of Comforts helps support unlicensed counselors with resources guided by professionals. 3, public education on mental health.
Resources guided by professionals. So as part of your whole health initiative, you're offering a service where non-licensed professionals can offer consultations, and they're doing this with professions. What is the profession, and how are they guiding, and what are the resources?
So right now, the people who are involved, Max is an associate clinical social worker. So he's the only one who's actually licensed. I am getting a master's of social work. Gage is getting a master's of social work. Colin is getting a master's degree in counseling. Ryan is getting a master's degree in counseling.
All right, so what is this guiding part and the content?
We haven't started guiding yet.
But so the goal is that all these this group of professionals, once they get their degrees, is going to offer guidance for peer counseling.
Yeah.
That is okay. And what does that look like?
That looks like people being good friends to other people and understanding how to help people who have mental health problems.
Is there a 3?
Yes. 3 is public education on mental health. Mental health is not confined to individuals. Psychological epidemics are real, and social groups encounter psychological trauma together. Fountain of Comfort aims to help foster the practice of mental health for communities as communities.
And so far, all of your helping to foster is manifesting as
a website with a forum on it so far. And trying to get people who are interested in being mental health professionals to talk to each other. That's all we've done before, yeah.
Hey, Ardlian. Meanwhile, what?
And Matt helped us make our beautiful logo.
Yes, it seems that he said, yes, you told me almost nothing, and it was enough for him to help. There's no downside. And holla to Charlie Campbell, and start thumbs up being thumbs. Oh, there's no thumbs.
Garth has single-handedly contributed over half of our monthly contributions.
Well, he's your shadow cabal. I have my own. This is
also Garth needs to ask.
Special thanks to the shadow cabal. So say we all.
Also, Garth needs to ask his girlfriend to marry him.
That's why by what metric do you think it's okay for, as an internet person, to give personal love advice to people? What are you, some Andrew Tate?
Yes.
Is something you can do that you are regarding as trivial, that you could do, that you would do, that would result in an actual improvement, but it's not a big enough improvement for you, so you won't lower yourself enough to take the opportunity. Hi, this is Paul. I know.
All right.
She moved to Minnesota. The poor woman moved to Minnesota. She moved to Minnesota.
Without him putting a ring on it, she did.
Can you believe that?
It's that, yes, because you'd be amazed with a woman that wants you. They hunt, They're called cougars because they hunt.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, and Garth is pretty eligible. He pushes buttons for a living, and he's tall, and he's got an awesome goatee. Have you seen Garth's goatee?
I'm not into other people's facial hair configurations, Jacob. Do you have? I'd like to grill you on what's happened to the TLC Sense Chino. What do you think about that? It seems like the trio that was holding our content consumption together, the three pillars, are parting ways. If I'm not reading it wrong,
they supposedly agreed to have a conference in Jerusalem in March, but the war kind of put a damper on that. I think I hate to say it, I've kind of moved from the Paul Vanderklay trio to the John Pajot trio, because John Pajot seems to actually believe in hierarchy.
So the Jew from the TLC has begun preying on the symbolic world. Tell us about your infiltration of the symbolic world, my friend.
Cormac Jones invited me to write an article. I really need to go ahead and write that article.
So Cormac Jones apparently is involved in the symbolic world website where they publish articles.
Yes, he's the editor-in-chief.
The editor... Wow, Federacci already has an in with the editor-in-chief of the Symbolic World website.
I met him at the Lord of Spirits conference.
From your position, can you please have them send the troops of Pajot's symbolic army he's supposed to be building? We need them to help us interpret strange signs and wonders over here.
He's not very good at interpreting signs and wonders.
Is that not what Pajot is doing with those people?
He's trying. I think his brother's better than he is, but that's because his brother cribs all of his stuff from rabbis.
Whoa. Let me get you all full screen on that, sir. Level this accusation against Mathieu Pajot again, please.
Mathieu Pajot steals everything he knows from rabbis.
Rabbis. What rabbis?
The rabbinic corpus of intellectual wealth that exists on Sephardia. Yes.
He got all his claim is that Mathieu gets all this stuff from the website Sephardia.
Sephardia, yeah. SEFARIA.org. website up if you want to pull it up.
Oh, fine. It looks like that. There, we can see in the top left there. It's SEFARIA, and there's a Kabbalah word. We know that one.
Mhm.
Ooh, second temple. How about that third temple, Jacob? You think we're building it soon?
I hope not.
Oh,
I think the extraterrestrials are going to land with a what's the new? They don't use UFO anymore. They have a new word for UFO.
WAP.
What? UAPs.
WAP.
Yeah. So a UAP is going to land that's going to look like Ezekiel's temple.
Like Ezekiel's temple?
Mm-hmm.
You think it's a big one? They've been building in the cloud cities, maybe?
It is a temple not built by hands. So.
That's exciting, man. Like, if you're going to pick a time to exist in human history, how about then, right?
Yeah. What do you think of the logo of Fountain of Comfort? I really like it.
Put it on your thing and we'll add it to the screen.
Let me see if there's a good one.
Oh, I just removed it. Add it to stage. Put it up here.
Where is it?
I see it in the top left there.
Yeah, there it is. Here. Well, this is, I mean, yeah. There's Yosef.
Wow, you're getting Yosef's money? Man, I've always wanted Yosef's money.
Yosef hasn't given money yet.
Oh,
Tim
but
has
he's still
given
getting
money.
on top
Trey
of it.
has given money. Jules hasn't given money, and Gage hasn't given money.
So some of them are just receivers and some are takers. I see how it is.
No, these people are on the board of directors, so they can't receive any of the money. It's against the rules.
If you guys put the bag full of gifts, Trey, I can distribute them.
I love this picture, I have to say.
Fine. I'll put it.
You
back
remember
up.
you were there. I think you're in this picture, actually.
Oh, let me make it big on my screen.
I think you may be in the background in this picture. That's Trey over there. That's me. I forget who was holding the talit that I was making, but you remember this. This was at the campground.
Yes, the campground was the best moment of Chino altogether, and you even came to get some of it.
Hey, I paid for it.
That's true. You got your value, sir. Apartment for a young man and stuff. Okay. But so what do you think of that? What do you think of the three guys going their own way? What remains? Is it like the estuary?
I don't think they're going their own way. I think I think Ark is probably going to take over.
What do you know it to be?
What's it?
Ark.
Ark is an attempt to replace the World Economic Forum with something sensible.
And the World Economic Forum is this group that pays rich or gets rich people to pay a bunch to come to talks.
Well, okay, so rich people recognize the importance of talking to other rich people.
And we want them to do it at ARC instead of the WEF. The WEF.
Well, the forum in which the medium is the message. The forum in which you have your discussions influences your discussions. So WEF, like Klaus Schwab is a clown, and so we need somebody who's not a clown, like Jordan Peterson, to be the person who's convening these things, as opposed to a clown like Klaus Schwab.
What about this bit, as highlighted by our good friend Jumir? What? Here.
What?
This.
What?
Say to our friends in the we are in the fight of our lives. There is more to life than clicks and downloads. And to my colleagues in new media especially, I say this. The legacy media is dying for a reason. They cannot be saved. They cannot be reformed. Let's stop complaining about them and start building the media empires of the future ourselves. We have everything we need. We've even got rich friends now.
I didn't know if he had anything else to it.
Konstantin Kisin may be, I believe he is one of the most important intellectuals and communicators alive today. He is brilliant as he's a comedian, first of all. He's a
I
brilliant
couldn't tell. I
Really?
couldn't tell.
He's I mean, he doesn't have a team of writers. But okay, Yosef is kind of correct, but that's for the same reason Rafe Kelly was. Did you watch Homeroom today?
I've dipped into parts of it.
Yeah, so Rafe Kelly and the people on the left are really, I mean, they're too thin-skinned, and they're ultimately probably going to end up being left behind.
Left behind where? Do you think they're not going to be living in the cities anymore?
No, left behind as in not. So I think some people in this little corner are paddling to catch the wave.
What's
And
the
so-
wave, Jacob?
The wave is the current that is going to be lifting society over the next 100 years.
The current that's going, the AI current that's going to be lifting society.
AI is not that powerful.
What's the current? What's the lifting tide there, Jacob? Is it what spews forth from the fountain of comfort?
In a sense, it's the spirit of the age.
The spirit of the age to come is now the spirit of the age.
The spirit of the age to come is always the spirit of the age.
Man, whenever I want to talk to a Jew, I really wish it was Joseph instead of you.
Hey, Yosef, jump on.
Yeah, the link's at the top. Can we swap them out?
Yosef's a lot smarter and kinder and nicer than I am.
Yes, he embodies the Jewish faith much more than you, though your advocacy
does.
is so terribly passionate.
Wow, Rabbi Mullet is here.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Let me get myself into real trouble then, shall we? Let's go into what my favorite thing I ever heard you say involved.
Don't
And-
think
and-
for yourself.
No. My favorite one. The
Yeah.
one that, like, I think if the Christians really knew you thought, they might not give you as much attention or might make it more hostile attention. This
What do you mean?
two branches theory, you recall.
Two branches.
Or is
Oh,
it-
Islam and Christianity are the two branches?
No. There was like two prophets where you claim that Jesus is the first of the two.
Yeah, Jesus and Muhammad.
The second one you have is Muhammad?
Yeah.
That part I did not. I thought that was still the one that was still coming.
That's hilarious. Does Griz stand for
Wait, what I miss?
The Griz is a great rabbi, the Brisker Rav, Rabbi Yitzchak Zev Soloveitchik, was known as the Griz.
Have I been reincarnated?
I hate to say it, Grim, but like the Griz was one of the greatest rabbinic minds in history. You're not quite at that level.
The only thing that just separates me between like being but there's the difference between me and being one of the greatest rabbinic minds in history is just the amount of Torah studied.
Right. He knew the entirety of the Talmud by like that.
That's excellent.
Both
Memory.
Talmuds, actually, yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. So Rabbi Mullet saw I named the stream Griz, and he thought I was talking about the Brisker Rav.
Well, how much is that guy like Rasputin? Because there's
The
supposed to be some
Brisker
overlap
Rav?
there. Yeah.
So let me tell you about the Brisker Rav. The
Please
Brisker
do.
Rav on the Day of Atonement would spend all of his time saying psalms as opposed to studying any other part of Torah. because he was afraid that he would miss a moment because he needed to go look something up. But because he was reciting Psalms the entirety of the day, he would not stop even for a second on the Day of Atonement. He spent the entire Day of Atonement reciting the Book of Psalms every year.
That makes me think of me reciting this all day. What?
On the list? Yes. Any of the first.
Son of a.
We all know that there is no agency any living gent can see doing what is right for me. Just lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency.
The Brisker Rub was, yeah, he was a giant. He was a giant in Torah.
It sounds like you guys have saints that don't get a convenient saints label or get persecuted.
I would call him a saint. Actually, I mean, the Brisker, was he persecuted? Yeah, life was not easy when he was living in he lived in Poland. Yeah. And he was actually known for being kind of a grim person. He was kind of grim. Yeah.
But you guys aren't officially into reincarnation?
Yeah, we believe in reincarnation.
What? Ladies and gentlemen, we got this guy saying that the Jewish people believe in reincarnation live on this unspeakable, unbearable stream with this ridiculous thumbnail, which is what the AI spit out when I said that the overexposed negative image of the Shroud of Turin. And that was the result. I think it's haunting.
I think you need a kitty cat in your lap.
My lap is currently unavailable.
What can I say? Shadow is having fun on this stream.
It's a good stream for it. So when is this fountain going to donate to my channel?
To your channel?
You know the work I do here and how important it is.
Your work is important. I would love to help train peer counselors for your channel.
For my channel?
Yes, I think there's a lot of people who could use peer counseling who are involved in your community.
How dare you, sir? I think there's a lot of retards in your community as well.
I didn't say retards.
Well, I just mean
mentally ill people.
I mean those who have spiritual or personal maturation, growth retardation.
As opposed to who? As opposed to who in the world?
Exactly. We don't have enough embodied.
Everybody is imperfect. Everybody. Even the Yanuka is imperfect. Even the Yanuka.
So who's your latest Messiah candidate? You guys are still waiting for one of those, right? Is that
that's Rabbi Shlomo Yehuda Be'eri. He is
whoa! Stop right there. What? You're seriously not only did I learn that Jews believe in reincarnation tonight, now you're also telling me that your hot runner for Messiah that you guys have been waiting for 6,000 or so years to return, his name is Shlomo?
Yes.
All right. Now that the surface ridiculousness of that has washed over me like a wave.
Why? Shlomo is a perfectly good name. I have no problems with the name Shlomo.
And what are you aware of that have indicated his candidacy for the return of the Messiah?
He is 36 years old, and He speaks to crowds of graybeards who are all amazed at his knowledge of Torah. So Rabbi Mullet is correct. No Jews actually consider the Yanuka the Messiah. That's just a Christian rumor. The fact is, I only found out about the Yanuka because a bunch of Christians asked me, "Is this guy the Antichrist?" And I usually I take a look and I'm like, "You guys pick all the worst candidates." And then I look at this guy and I'm like, "Hey, he might just be." It was great.
All right. Raquel needs a savings throw. And that, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, next casino card of the show is the Ace of Clubs. The fourth tier of channel membership is the superpower of calling for a savings throw anytime you need it. If you're that level of member, I don't know if Raquel is, but since she makes excellent branding for the show, we'll give it that level of authority and do an extra bonus savings throws for tonight.
I
Survival,
pick heart.
social, wisdom, or heart. Choose.
Last time I got a 1.
Wow. Survivalists with a 2. A 2 for this portion. Socialists. Deuces as well. Focus. And the lovers of wisdom. Nat 1. Bonuses do not apply. Hard folks coming in much better this time. That's the number 9. Focus. And also scoring a number 9 are the Indigo kids on the Indigo die. Okay. There's your bonus.
Chazi, jump on the stream. Chazi
Welcome.
should jump on the stream.
Yes, you are welcome to join us in the hot seat tonight. It's apparently I decided I'm not going to stream for a while, and something in that makes me keep streaming for an epic amount of time. Here's some enjoyable branding while I go refill my coffee cup. That one's not long enough. Here's PVK in the sky. You said Hezzy's here. The latest one has him in it.
Like love is worth saving.
I don't know love. Now encompasses everything. Does it not?
It's all there is.
It's all there is.
You choose survival, social, wisdom, or heart.
I'm not. We're going to end up, if we continue down this vein of tit for tat, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Okay. Talking about proportionality, and I'm going to say this, and it's going to sound really harsh because I don't know how to say it any other way. Life sucks, and then you die. Okay. You're always going to get spit on. I'm going to get spit on because I'm a Christian. Kezi's going to get spit on because he's a Jew. Okay. And we're all going to suffer some kind of oppression in our life. And if that's the thing that if we're going to start keeping score on our oppression, which is what most of the world is doing today, actually, then we're going to make ourselves miserable and we're going to fail to live. And we won't be able to love either. We'll forget how to love.
Yeah, it's early in the morning and Chazi has to take care of his kids.
That's good. I'm glad. It always concerns me, actually, when I get too much attention from people that have families. That's like my most concerning audience. It's like, okay, guys, I know, thanks for being supportive, but those are more important investments. But it's...
Did you actually see my stream, which you were streaming over?
No, if I was streaming over it, I was at the better place. What were you streaming?
So Justin, who is also an Eastern Orthodox Christian, asked me to help explain war to his kids. And that's what I was streaming, was explaining war to his kids.
And you seem what is it? Pleased with yourself. If
Yeah,
I
I think I did an okay job. I hope. Yeah, I think kids need to understand the world they live in,
I
and I
think that
think it's very difficult to explain things to kids.
see, I don't. I don't. I think that our chief goal is to protect the children from the world that they live in until about 14 and then indoctrinate them into manhood because I think the power of the imagination of the children is worth protecting.
You should not destroy anyone's imagination as an adult or as a child. Imagination is important. At the same time, our imagination has to be guided by reality.
Right, but the extent of the reality I think can remain local. Like we don't need
Mm,
I think we need to protect them from the global plans for the children actually, and that thinking globally is something that is for adults to do and not part of childhood. But as neither of us raised them, it's none of our business.
well, I mean, I think it is. But I have to disagree with Kazi and Rabbi Mullet. I am certainly looking for the Yanuka to possibly become the Messiah. I would be happy if any great rabbi became the Messiah. Hell, I would be happy if some dinky rabbi became the Messiah. I just want the Messiah.
I disagree. I don't think that you'll ever be happy. I think being unhappy is too part of your intimate character. But
This
it's
is
nice to dream.
yeah, this is unfortunately true. Am I always unhappy, Shadow? Shadow thinks I'm happy sometimes.
Oh, there's somebody who needs to click the link. Hey there, CW. Welcome. Welcome.
CW stands for coward.
The accusations fly. He's out of touch, it's been claimed. Is it Thursday in Australia yet?
No.
No, not even in Australia. Well, do we have any loaded? No, because you delete them so you don't run them 8 times. Son of a.
Remember, everybody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you.
All right, first of all, we got the rabbi saying that normative Jews don't do that, which introduces a brand new category of Jewishness to us. Thank you, Rabbi Raphael Molot. There's a thing called normative Jews, ladies and gentlemen. We have Weeks doxing himself in the chat, which isn't even my chat, where he could find the link to come on the stream like everybody wants you to do, CW.
He
Everybody.
doesn't do streams.
He's done one before. There's
He's
video.
done one, yeah.
Oh, now see, the prophet Zacharias was the kind enough to bring those into the Broken Clock Tower Discord for me. I don't know whether or not he made them or just pulled them off of 4chan.
Yeah, I think
beautiful
pulls them
and
off
epic,
and-
and we appreciate the gift of them.
No. Remember, no. This is something I deeply agree with. Is no. No.
The bees are doing this and the squirrels are doing this, and the squirrels don't get together and sort of have a meeting and say, well, it's who's been like leaving little scratch marks on the roots to let us know exactly how many days that are. The squirrels aren't doing that. There's no Department of Centralized Squirrel Intelligence that is sort of monitoring all of this. And of course, it's the same within our body, but then again, it also goes up from us.
Have I told you Pastor Tanner's squirrel joke?
No, please do.
So a pastor is teaching Sunday school, and he asks the Sunday school class, what has 4 legs, lives in a tree, and stores nuts for the winter? And nobody answers. So he asks Timmy, what has 4 legs, lives in a tree, and stores nuts for the winter? And Timmy says, well, it sounds like a squirrel, but I'll say Jesus.
That's the end of the joke, isn't it?
Yep, because the answer to every question is always Jesus.
The day the squirrel went berserk in the first self-righteous church in the sleepy little town of Pascagoula.
If you say so.
I
Who's
was a
Theo
pet
Vaughn?
worshiper for a long time.
Oh, I know who Theo Vaughn is. He's the guy that had Vervaeke on recently.
Yes, that's how we knew Vervaeke had made the big time. When he went on Theo Vaughn and unfollowed me on X, which I was reported.
He unfollowed you?
Yes. He unfollowed me over on the X network, and it was told to me that it was because I made a tweet post about sex toys. But I don't know if that's true. How are you not on here, CW? Or at least giving us some feeble excuse for not being on here in the chat.
What's Red Room?
He used to the last time I've seen him do a broadcast, it was from his Magic Supervillain Red Room. He has. It's a
CW's Red Room. Yeah, I know.
Oh, dang. All we get out of him is a complaint about Matt C unfollowing him on X.
Because he wants Torah. Give him Torah.
What does that mean?
It means talk about the Bible.
All right, let's.
Okay.
Would you like to do Exodus 22:22?
Sure. What's Exodus 22:22?
It's not important. It's not important. What I actually want.
I am looking up Exodus 22:22.
That's the obvious one, but okay, we can do that one.
Im ane ta'ane oto ki im tza'ok yitz'ak alai shamoa eshma tza'akato. What's the question?
Is there a question? It's not a question. It's my favorite.
It's a pretty good one.
Is it the widows and orphans or the usury one? Those are my 2 big ones from Exodus.
It's mostly widows and orphans. Yeah.
Tell me about the Daniel guy. That's my current curiosity. He's in that Torah thing, right?
Yes. So Daniel.
Did you guys see his face? The way his face went when he said yes, like it was a painful yes.
Well, the Torah usually only it properly only refers to the 5 books of Moses.
And the part that Daniel's in is referred to as the
writings.
The writings of the
people.
That's it. He's demoted to just plain old writings of the people.
Yeah, not prophets. So there's Torah, prophets, writings, and Daniel's in the writings.
So how do you guys feel about the Christians making such a big deal and including that?
What
Or
do
are
you
they
mean,
all in
including?
there anyway and
It's-
it's fine?
So the Protestants chose to use the Jewish Bible as their Old Testament, which I think is right. I just don't understand how a Christian defends choosing a Bible that rabbis 100 years after Jesus decided was the canon as their canon. Like, on what basis did they decide that? It just
Okay,
makes
so there
zero.
was a Jewish Council of Nicaea 100 years after something.
There wasn't an actual council, but the rabbis of the Mishnah decided what the Jewish corpus is about 100 years after Jesus, at least 100 years after.
Do you think it was in response to the existence of the Christians that particular thing was canonized as canon?
I don't think so, although there might have been some choices made. I don't know. I don't think it would be strange to say that.
All right, we have from the Hive Mind Ups doing a quote of it saying, "Do not take advantage of the widow or the follower." So
That's
I guess
actually 22:21, not 22:22. At least in Jewish Bibles.
all right. So in 22:22, what is the translation you'd give us?
Well, you can pull it up. I have it on the thing.
Oh! Let us see together. Thou shalt not afflict. Not afflict is the translation. Your Sefaria.
That's 21. Yes, you shall not ta'anu.
Now see,
yeah.
why
Ani.
22:22 is my personal favorite is because of the way this English translation says, "I will surely hear their cry."
Shamoa eshma sa'akato. Their cry, it's actually his cry, but okay.
Okay, and so to me, this seems like, to the extent that the covenant is the covenant with a being with supreme powers, that shall surely hear their cry is sort of, let's say it like there's a chain of command, and as those afflicted thusly, as in 22:21. Those such afflicted have a special line, like a phone line, to say, "Hey, boss, they're roughing us up down here." And that is part of my personal scheme to weaponize Jewish widows and orphans to invoke societal change.
It's all widows and orphans. You shouldn't afflict any widows and orphans, or really anyone.
No, but I'm saying, like, let's establish a special prayer group that consists of widows and orphans that have been such afflicted, and use the power of that covenant made in Exodus 22:22 to get a direct line to have some problems addressed.
Okay.
Okay, now the next part we have to get to that's fun to play with in the Torah, since Hezi came by and made a large donation and asked us to get into the Torah. Oh, did he not do that one part? Whatever. The part where Moses has to hide from the spaceship as it flies by.
You always do this.
This
It's
is the
not
most
a space
important.
ship. It has nothing to
Let's
do.
bring it up and look at the words were provided by our Sefaria, shall we?
Sure. What? It's in Deuteronomy something. What?
You would know more than me, my good man.
Where is it? Deuteronomy.
Meanwhile, while our good friend Jacob, Mr. Fats, looks up this fancy part about the. Remember it.
This agency. We want.
Now what'll that asshole think of next? Is anybody got a dime?
And here's that guy CW that won't join us.
Ducks eat bread.
They do. They like it.
That's all we have of him. Is that they do. They like it. Have you found it, sir?
I'm trying to.
Let's see if the hive mind knows better than you where in Exodus the spaceship is. Emily says it sounds like Grim wants God anger to be kindled. Careful what you. We're trying to figure out wrath, as it were. So that might be convenient. Thanks for the dime, Raquel. We appreciate it. Prophet Zach dropping in a chicken. Normative Christians read the Bible in original language, English, says Matt C. Have you found it yet, sir?
Yes.
Great. We'll hear it right after this. Exodus 33, 21 through 23, I think, is the spaceship section. What have you brought up there, Mr. Feds?
33:18.
18. Let's read it together. Where is 18?
Right there.
Oh. Show me thy glory. You got to do it in your thing when I do the in there.
Vayomer har'eni na et kevodecha.
And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim the name of the Lord before thee, and will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and show my mercy upon whom I will show my mercy.
Vayomer ani avir kol tuvi al panecha v'karati b'shem Hashem lefanecha v'chanoti et asher achon v'richamti et asher arachem.
I have two feelings about that. First, man, I like that guy. Second, I can see the guy in Stargate saying that. That androgynous little kid they made say that. Anyway, but that's not where the glory actually flies by. Is it? Where's him hiding in the rock? Oh, wait, keep going.
Right here. Yeah. Keep going.
Where are we at?
20.
And he said, thou canst not see my face, for no man shall see me and live.
Vayomer lo tuchal lirot et panai ki lo yirani ha'adam v'chai.
And the Lord said, behold, there is a place by me, and thou shalt stand upon the rock, and it shall come to pass while my glory passes by, that I will put thee in the cleft of the rock, and will cover thee with my hand as I pass by.
Vayomer Hashem hine makom iti v'nitzavta al hatzor v'haya ba'avur kevodi v'samticha benikrat hatzor v'sakoti chapi alecha ad ovri.
What? That's where it happened, or should we keep going?
It's the next verse.
Oh! I thought I just did that part. Is it one of those where they say it again?
23. You didn't say 23.
And I will take away my hand, and thou shalt see my back, but my face shall not be seen.
V'hasiroti et kapi v'ra'ita et achorai ufanai lo yirau. We can only see God from after he passes by, because we cannot have free will and know what is going on at the time. It is only in retrospect.
All right, wait. You're doing commentary.
Understand?
Stop it. You're doing commentary already. Corey says my favorite part coming up. Don't stop. So let's do one more for good measure.
Okay. But that's a whole other thing.
Oh, all right then. Never mind. Maybe that was his favorite part, but face not shall be seen. Okay, so Now, the claim here, of course, is that Exodus secretly wasn't about the Jews' exodus from Egypt, but about the Lord's exodus from the planet as he got in his spaceship and flew away, leaving Moses in the cleft of the rock.
But the Mount Sinai is right after that.
And Mount Sinai is what? Where the spaceship
It's God's
lands and Moses goes up?
revelation to the entirety of the world.
Okay. So in that case, this part must be where the spaceship takes off and goes into the desert, and then the people come out into the desert, and he goes up the mountain, and they do the golden calf.
So God
bit.
wasn't leaving.
Well, he's flying a spaceship, though. We'll take that part, and then he doesn't. He leaves after the desert marching. Yes,
Okay.
he stops dropping manna at some point.
Genesis 1, right? The God of the Bible is not a thing in the world. He created the world.
Yes, but there's also a guy in the spaceship that makes human monkeys into gold diggers.
Who said this? Where
It's
do
in
you
the
get this?
Sumerian tablets.
Okay, the
Enki made.
Sumerian tablets can buzz off.
They predate the books you got. Like if you go for ancestry.com,
Yeah.
they're older, and it says that
Okay.
Enki created the black-headed people.
Okay, so people were idolaters, and then Abraham recognized that actually there is one God who created everything, and he helped the rest of the world understand that actually the creator of the world is beyond any of these petty gods of these silly idolatrous people.
Okay.
And Shadow agrees
riddle
with
me this. What's up with the manifestation of manna? Why did it happen then and never since?
So during the Exodus, the generation of the Exodus had a revelation of God that was beyond any other generation since that was the summit of the revelation of God in the world, was the Exodus and Sinai and the generation of knowledge, Dor Dea. So that generation was so spiritual that as opposed to eating food that came from the land, they ate spiritual food which came from the sky.
Or the pillar of fire and the pillar of smoke was a spaceship that dropped off manna for them to collect so they didn't die during their time in the desert.
No, they were
the
generation of the Exodus was the culmination of heaven and earth coming together. And therefore,
Whoa, I thought the culmination of heaven and earth coming together was the crucifixion of the Christ.
That's because you were a Christian and you're wrong.
Exodus was as best as it ever got.
Yep.
Wow, that's a big claim. But let me make sure I have my heresy timeline right. So apparently Deuteronomy and the spaceship taking off from wherever it was in Deuteronomy, and then the peoples come out of Egypt into the Exodus in the desert. And
Well,
then,
actually, I mean, we were reading from Exodus 33, not Deuteronomy.
Okay. So the spaceship flies by after
Actually,
all of the golden calf
before.
stuff.
Well, I mean, I'm not very
just trying
good
to
at this
place the
timeline.
golden calf part and the tablet part.
I
You said the
believe
tablet came after the
I
flyby.
believe so. That's the
next section seemed to be the tablet.
Chapter 34 is God says, make 2 tablets of stone.
Okay.
Oh, no, hold on. So actually it appears this was between the first and the second tablets.
Wow, I thought they both came at the same time to Charlton Heston, man. My
No, there was the first
spiritual book history
tablets.
is way off.
There's the first tablets with which Moses broke, and then there was the second tablets. Chezi,
All right.
do you have the timeline correct? When did this happen? I'm not very good at
Let me just get the big highlights part first.
Yeah.
We have that right?
Okay.
There's the part where the people leave Egypt into the desert.
Correct.
We have this part where the spaceship flies by, and then we have the golden calf incident.
No, we have the golden calf incident, and then we have the spaceship flying by.
Okay, but the people came into the desert before this or after this?
People go into the desert. They get the first tablets. Then is the golden calf. Well, that's the first tablets. Moses comes down with the first tablets and sees the golden calf, and he breaks the tablets. And then the spaceship happens, and then he goes and gets the second tablets. If I have my timeline correct, which I might not.
So that's the mountain he ascends and gets the second tablets, and then there's the marching and the manna.
Yes.
All right. I'm getting things straight. I hope you guys are too.
I think so. I hope so. You're asking the wrong person. Chezi and Yosef know this stuff much better than I do.
You're the one that came in the hot, came up into the hot seat on the string. This means that the individual's psyche is far from being safely synthesized. On the contrary, it threatens to fragment only too easily under the onslaught of unchecked emotions. While this situation is familiar to us from the studies of anthropologists, it is not so irrelevant to our own advanced civilization as it might seem. We too can become dissociated and lose our identity. We can be possessed and altered by moods or become unreasonable and unable to recall important facts about ourselves or others, so that people ask, "What the devil has gotten into you?" We talk about being able to control ourselves, but self-control is a rare and remarkable virtue. That's fair. That's fair. It's probably not a space ship. That's fair enough.
I used to be very frightened by cats purring.
Frightened?
Yeah, so I had this friend in high school who had a sky chair in his room, and sometimes when I would sleep over at his house, I would sleep in the sky chair. You know what a sky chair is?
It sounds like a chair that's not on the floor.
Yeah, it's a chair that hangs from the ceiling. And I used to sleep in it sometimes. It's kind of like a hammock. And he had these cats. And the cat, like, I would wake up in the middle of the night and the cat would be circling, purring underneath me. And it was the scariest thing in the world. It's like, that cat is, like, planning on murdering me. So cats purring was always scary. But
Well, the way you hold that thing's neck, I would still be scared.
well, Shadow likes it. So and she
All right.
purrs.
So we got the order right of the Exodus and whatnot, and the man and the spaceship. That's enough, right? That's enough juice stuff for tonight.
I have to say, CW gives you money, but he still hasn't given any money to Fountain of Comfort.
Well, Fountain of Comfort is probably far more comfortable than I am, and maybe the fountain should fill up the cup of the uncomfortable before they start filling up the whole fountain. That's not appropriate. I shouldn't say things like that.
You're so mean to me, Grim.
Now what'll that asshole think of next? Is anybody got a dime?
I don't want to be done yet. Nobody else is joining yet. We got to go to a new topic, though. This is
What's
too
the
much.
new topic?
I don't know. I need your help getting there.
How's Sylvia?
She's a happy, warm cat. She likes the way it's the best thing about Sylvia is that when she lays down to sleep with you, she plops down like into puts her face here, and her heart is through her back, right where yours is. And
Oh, that's so cute.
yeah.
Yeah, I like it when Shadow comes and sleeps on top of me.
What's the next event that would qualify as one TLC people might also attend that you plan on attending?
I have these internships going for the next 6 months, and so I can't really travel.
You have apprentices essentially.
What do you mean? Oh, apprenticeships. Yeah. I'm working right now. I'm working at a domestic violence shelter, and then I'm going to be doing at a homeless shelter. I'm going to be doing counseling. So
That's fascinating. The earning of the degree, you
Yeah.
being the underling, down in the fields on the material plane, where the casualties of the information war are gathering. What do you think about eunuch rights?
eunuch rights.
Yes, the rights of eunuchs as a demographic group of oppressed peoples.
I think castrating little children is evil.
Right, and we're going to have a whole bunch of eunuchs that have figured out that way too late. And I
Well,
think if we start pushing for their rights now,
I am actually pretty hopeful that the numbers of trans kids is actually still tends to be very small. And they tend to be the children of parents who are exceptionally stupid.
Are you saying it's a Darwinian warpath?
Well, I said to Zach, while I would certainly, I certainly feel for the children whose parents
Name.
take them to drag queen story hour. I don't necessarily feel that bad for the parents who are not going to have grandkids because they took their children to drag queen story hour.
Well,
Because those people shouldn't have grandkids.
The level I like to address the issue is that the thing they call Lupron is a buzzsaw buzzword, which really means prostate cancer treatment.
What's Lupron?
It's what the chemical. Some people refer to it as chemical castration, but it's also a hormone suppressant, apparently, and a vital part of affirming care, which is terribly important to everybody. And but as a transcriptionist, I was familiar with it as what they use to treat prostate cancer, and so to hear it's what they're using on children is quite disturbing.
Again, from the statistics that I've seen, we're actually talking about a pretty small number of children being put on puberty blockers and very, very small number of children having surgery or anything like that.
Where are you getting those numbers? Why can we trust your numbers?
They're the only numbers I've been able to find by Googling, and I might be wrong. I have no idea, but yeah, I have not.
Well, we certainly don't want to think for ourselves on this issue, Jacob.
Well, I mean, I don't want to make up numbers. The only way to get numbers is by Googling.
Meanwhile,
yes.
What it is that we place as the highest good, that which is placed above us as our guiding star, as the thing that pulls us forward into its good, is indistinguishable from a God. Just like a God, that supreme value will drive us towards it, will subjugate all things to it, and the type of attention it will receive will be indistinguishable from worship. And if what we put at the top there is not in fact the supreme good, then it will twist reality, it will twist the facts, and it will twist the data into its service. And if we can't see that, if we can't understand that, we will never understand what happened to us during COVID. We will never understand that it was the worship of safety and control that made it impossible to weigh it against other goods. To even posit other goods made you not only wrong, but a heretic that had to be banished and run out of the common space. And so we sacrificed, we subjugated all other goods, the education and mental health of our children, the communion with our families, our religious participations, and so many aspects of life which provide meaning and purpose for nearly 2 years in some countries. And then the practical reasons became completely opaque, right? 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and then that no one should die, or maybe to keep the hospitals safe. Then what? That no one should ever get the disease? That everybody had to be vaccinated with a vaccine that doesn't stop the spread of the disease? So what's the goal? What's the goal? It didn't matter. It no longer mattered what the little goals were anymore. Once the God has taken possession, all the facts, all the purposes, all the goods will simply serve that God. Now, safety is a good. Of course it is. Of course safety is a good. It is simply not the supreme good. And it just needs to not pretend to be. And that's all we need. Whatever it is you're chasing right now, it ain't it. Whatever it is you think is the most important, it's not. It's not the most important. The supreme good is not money. It's not energy. It's not freedom. It's not family. It's not knowledge. It's not safety. It's not diversity. And it's not inclusion. Though all those things are good, they should never be treated as the supreme good, lest they become idols and gods that will tyrannize us. They have to be put in proper hierarchies, where the more encompassing goods, like the virtues, guide the lower goods, like the stuff, with none of the goods completely ruling the others, or else they might become, once again, vices that will overwhelm you.
Could you pull this up?
Again, apparently there's a great new one with me and Gavin I didn't know existed that Demir made, though, and that's exciting. This thing Jacob wants us to see is the statistics from Reuters. Numbers in the rise of children seeking gender care. His source being Robin Respout. What the? Hold on, let me. Respout. Robin Respout is writing about this. Go ahead, read some of it to us.
So this is from October 6, 2022, and it's based on numbers from this organization called Komodo Health. It says Komodo's analysis draws on full or partial health insurance claims for about 330 million U.S. patients over the 5 years from 2017 to 2021, including
it's old. The effects that are current are 2 years old, and but the best we had 2 years ago. Go ahead.
Okay, the data includes roughly 40 million patients annually, ages 6 through 17. So the numbers they have are new diagnoses of gender dysphoria. That doesn't bother me how many people were. I mean, there is a huge rise, but
Okay. Whoa. Let's stop right there with your statistics. 2 years ago, there was a huge rise in the gender dysphoria diagnosis. The treatment process trained to unicization is probably at least 6 months, except they're fast tracking it wherever they can. Here's a blue church card for the show. The 10 of clubs. So that uptick that you're not at all concerned about, Federecci, is now those undergoing treatment.
No,
But continue.
those are the people who have been diagnosed. The question becomes then, how many people are having actual treatment? Puberty blockers, thousands is, I mean, I don't like it, but it's only thousands.
If it was your child, isn't one becoming made the unit?
Okay, that one thing is
It
kind
does
of
seem to
silly.
be that
No,
might be the
no,
case
no,
for
no,
our friend
no.
Elon, don't you think?
The one, oh, one is a tragedy. No, I'm sorry. A million is a million times a tragedy. Don't give me like this. Any life is no. That's exactly what. Play the Pajot clip again, right? That not a single person should die. It's silly safetyism. Yeah, I don't like the fact that thousands of kids were put on puberty blockers. That's not great. Hormone therapy, thousands, again, not great. Surgery, and this is thankfully only top surgery, but it is still top surgery. We're talking hundreds of kids. Is it bad? Yeah.
You know why it's so bad? It's because if you don't properly nurse a child, it gets an oral fixation that ends up destroying.
Yeah, I mean,
All right. First of all, let's get into the fact that we're nearly 3.5 hours into a stream, and this topic is the topic for adults that should be discussed in an adult.
and Weinstein is correct. Yes, I do do health insurance, and yes, I have helped several people who are trans get health insurance.
Now, let's move on to not maiming children anymore. Any other topic, please? That'd be great. What about your good friend Peter Thiel becoming outed as an FBI informant?
My good friend.
Yes, and you know what? I will give you a few moments to gather your thoughts on that.
Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all.
Like love. Love is worth saving.
I don't know love. Now encompasses every.
Actually, I need a minute. I still need a minute. Let me get some coffee. I apparently didn't make a putt.
What
So
movie
tell
is
me
that
about the
from?
Peter Thiel connection.
What movie is that from? That clip.
She opens with for Fifth Element.
No. The one where the guy's getting beaten up.
Oh, that one. That's an Ups thing. I'm not sure what movie that one's from.
I've never seen that movie. So I've met Peter Thiel a couple of times. I doubt he remembers me. I got to talk to him once. He's actually a hero of mine. I think he's a great guy.
And it turns out he's also an FBI informant,
which makes me only think more of him.
Okay.
I'm a patriot. I was very happy when he called out Google and their willingness to work with China.
I don't know what that means.
I don't. Yeah.
You're beyond this. The autism connection hasn't. Oh, fear of change has been weaponized.
Yeah, especially puberty. I think a lot of people on puberty blockers are especially little girls who are afraid of menstruating.
I like the characterization we got from Zach up here. A form of the unsullied, a ruthless branch of warriors being crafted.
No, I think they're just poor people, poor, mentally impoverished children.
Let's do one of our magic Googles for the numbers of children receiving puberty blockers without parental consent.
I don't know that anybody has those figures.
Let's type it in and see what happens. You want me to?
Okay.
We have your search
Happy,
results.
stop typing. Shadow was typing on my computer. How many minors received puberty blockers without parental consent?
I informed them they could suck it, says Papa Zach. Windbag from 1971 is the film. Is this what you're showing? Is this what you're looking at, sir?
What? No. I was looking here. I'm trying to see. So this is what I Googled. But
we got 5,000 in 2017, it says.
That's not without parental consent. That's what I was showing you before.
That's your prior statistic.
It's saying minors may access puberty spirit without parental consent. I would be very surprised if you can find numbers about this.
Well, I'm sure if they can be found, they will arrive as if divine providence is on our side.
Divine providence is on our side.
I think so.
Zach says he's an FBI informant.
Yes. He informed them they could suck it. What do you don't believe in this whole deep state, this war, or you're on the blue church side of it?
There is a deep state. So I wanted to work for the federal government. I studied the federal government. I still study the federal government. There is such a thing as a deep state, but it's not nefarious. It's a bunch of people who think what they're doing is good and patriotic, and they're just wrong.
Here, let me run this one, but let me look for a different one.
Really do like the idea of trying to build a nation that's a non-secular nation and just kind of be a produce good fruit for the world. And they look over there and say, "Man, that's some good fruit." That's
true. Sure. I like cloisters.
You got to go to a place where people don't want to claim it. People don't want it because it's so nasty, and then you got to go transform that thing.
And then people will want it. So there you are.
Then you start sending out those fruit.
No, but
you might even hand it to them and say, "Hey, you want it? We'll go build another one. Let's see how good you can do this thing. We'll just go build another one. You want it? All right, we submit. We'll go build another one because you think you got it. We'll see if you can run this thing. We'll just go build another.
Get back to the now, Gavin. You're way in the future again.
Well, I'm in the now.
In
and
the
I'm inviting the people in the now.
In the now.
Gavin is very optimistic.
That allowed me to find the one I was looking for, which is Dumir's Moloch consciousness piece. And when you tell me that the bottom is full of good-hearted people just like being patriotic, good citizens, I'm like, yes, sure, of course, but also this.
Which implies a further constraint of freedom when ascending the hierarchy, often referred to as rules for rulers. This inverts the common perception that the slaves are to be found at the bottom of the hierarchy. Seeing this clearly cannot not induce a sense of compassion and understanding, especially for those deep down this vicious cycle, no matter how twisted their minds have become along the way. Recognizing that they are trapped in an endless pursuit of recovering something that they never truly lost. However, for healing to take place, miracle consciousness first needs to pierce the veil. Because of the whole structure being clouded in secrecy, this is not a straightforward task. Since the transparency fades very quickly, the deeper one tries to look inside the mind of Moloch. This seems very unfortunate for miracle workers who seem to be limited by this fact to only deal with surface symptoms, rather than being able to address and heal the deeper roots of the wound. However, luckily we are not limited to this specific direct investigative epistemology. Because the deeper a mind descends into the darkness of the structure, the more domesticated it becomes, which is synonymous to saying the more predictable it becomes, meaning exactly where
This is Marxist Hegelian Gnostic bullshit.
Marxist Hegelian Gnostic bullshit. The mind of Moloch consciousness. You think is
yeah? This is straight out of Hegel and Marx.
But it does explain how the NPCs become so predictable, does it?
No, it's a Gnostic conspiracy theory of it's impossible to understand anything because the more you understand, the less you understand. It's like
that's not what I heard at all.
That's exactly what he was saying. He was saying the more you understand, the less you understand.
I thought it was the higher in the hierarchy you ascend, the more enslaved you are and the more predictable you become.
Yeah, this is I hate to say it, this is Trinitarian upside down bullshit. 1 is 3 and 3 is 1.
If only you were good at explaining how bullshit was bullshit, you'd be actually useful to the court.
Bullshit is bullshit. Like when you say a religion that's not a religion, when you say the higher you are in the hierarchy, the more enslaved you are. It's all bullshit. It's like, oh, because it doesn't make sense, it makes perfect sense. Like koans and like stupid bullshit. Stop with the bullshit.
No, sir, this entire channel is made of it.
No. I think he means, or she means, Ouroboros, not Cerberus.
I don't know. I don't know enough Greek mythology to
Cerberus,
talk about the three-headed dog that defends the gates of hell.
That's Cerberus. Ouroboros is the snake that eats itself.
So what are you plotting and scheming? What is the next event that you're attending?
I have no plans. My hope is that I will have a bathroom again one day soon.
Why do you not have a bathroom? Oh yeah, you're doing the internships. You can't do that.
No, my bathroom they've been remodeling my bathroom for a month. Hey, Chezi.
We are saved.
Chezi got a phone call. That's
Oh,
what happens when he gets a phone call. Yeah, it blacks out.
That's so unfortunate. But hey, maybe he'll come back before we give it up.
Yeah.
No, she meant what she wrote. It is the three-headed dog. We just don't know enough Koanic bullshit. See, I think you're too left-brained on this, and you're not open to the right-brain side of things, which sees things that can't be seen through logic and feeble faculties such as reason.
If it can't be seen through feeble faculties like reason, then it's not something I can understand, and there's no point to me talking about
You
it.
are a full human with both hemispheres of your brain.
Has he?
He's made it back. And
Hello.
since
Good
you,
morning.
I will waive my no driving policy.
Is that your
You're-
policy?
You're a privileged individual. Yes, I'm always terrified the person will get in a car wreck, and people will give that more attention than me. But
Chezi is in Israel.
but you're
Driving-
protected.
Driving,
So it's
driving
safe.
in Israel, like every single car in Israel, on the back of the car has a bumper sticker that says "Shamor Mirchak," which means "stay away," and like every single car has it. Am I wrong?
There are a lot of stickers that say "keep your distance." There's a lot of stickers that say, "How am I driving? Call this number," because like it's a lot of leased cars. Because
And the number is 1-800 eat shit.
something like that. Yeah, it's 1-800 eat shit. In general, I don't know. Driving in Israel, everyone's driving like 90s Transformers over here. There's like no car envy. There's no nice cars. It's just all go-go machines.
So which bumper stickers do you have, Chezi?
No. Let's not steer toward bumper stickers. Hezi, it's an honor to see you again. I'm thrilled you're well. How are things, sir?
Things are, generally speaking, going well. How am I doing? I'm like my people, so we're not doing awesome, but there's still a strong sense of unity and resolve in the country, so that's obviously good.
I need an actual update because, like, the gore footage on my X feed has entirely stopped, and I'm like, it's almost like it's passing through the Overton window. What's going on over there? So the last I heard was like, there was no tunnel penetration, and there was bunches of bombs.
No, we penetrated tunnels. We identified like over 500 of them. We've knocked some down this week. We've, I don't know what's circulating in the globe, but in Israel, there's a lot of circulation of videos showing Hamas terrorists like shooting, RPGs from the entrance of the hospital. We found laboratories, ammunition laboratories, right by, children's rooms. So a lot of the things that we've been saying has just been validated. Like we've seen that. We did actually enter some medical centers and Shifa Hospital. So that's a little tense right now. There's some talk about maybe identifying some kidnaps, some of the people that were kidnapped. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I'm not sure, but that's sort of where we are right now on the ground. Still a lot of support locally in Israel. While people are still very against the prime minister, the focus is still very much like on the war efforts. So
All right.
I would say that's the update.
It's my channel. So
Yeah,
let me ask you about this. Does this end in a canal? And do you know what I mean when I ask? That is the
like
deepest,
the Suez Canal?
sort of, but no longer there, but one that you guys control where Gaza used to be.
I don't think there's gonna be. I don't think there's gonna be that kind of control.
But does all of this result in a canal being built? And what do you think about those rumors?
There was some talk about some sort of barrier. I mean, I didn't see something about a canal, but some sort of more intense barrier. I don't think anyone's taking that too seriously yet because we're still in the thicket, and at the leadership level, no one has offered like an actual day after plan. So I don't know. I honestly don't know if it means a canal because it really depends on the pressures we're going to get from the Western world with regards to what has to happen now. It has to do with the amount of death at the end of this. So I still think there's too much dust that has not settled for us to know. I will mention though, on your channel, there's a lot of talk about don't bomb the hospital, like Israel's bombing the hospital, like it's too intense. People should realize the Shifa hospital in Gaza was built and designed by Israeli architects because we wanted to build the Gazans a hospital, right? Like, so this place, and everyone's like, don't not
bomb it. Come on.
It's not we built it, we could bomb it. Of course not. It's why do you guys think this sacred thing called the hospital, how did it get there? It wasn't magic. The reason it's there is because the people that designed it wanted the best for the region, and hence they built a hospital, right? It didn't land there from no one, and it wasn't donated by some altruistic Arab country because they wanted to help the Gazans. This is, again, ultimately it's a family issue. None of us recognize it as such.
For me, it's one of those things that there's so many powers and principalities at play. All I can do is like send divine peace and in my prayers to just like bomb the region with that, let there be like peace and send what I can to that. Even if it's just a break. Sometimes people need 30 minutes off from the shellings. I don't know. It's crazy intense because like for so much of our lives, there has been relative calm or it hasn't hit highly urbanized regions to the extent things are getting messy now, I would say. Yeah, it's like it seems like geopolitically things are heating up or there's wars and rumors of wars, but
well, multiple things are colliding. It's these wars are heating up. There's a sense of like there's a sense of moral decay. The exacerbation due to social media, like we've moved into a new place where it's like de-information, like fake news is very much like built into the system right now, and you have to like account. There's obviously going to be X% of fake news, like all the way to like, was it 40 beheaded babies, 30 beheaded? Was it like a real picture? So it's this new level of interpretation we have to consider, which none of us are necessarily designed to do or socially designed to do yet. I think you also have an element over here where, years of immigration have, come to roost, so to speak. When you see in France and England, you have to realize that now, like when England and Europe see these kind of riots, pro-Palestine support protests, that is like a major wake-up call for them. Something that Douglas Murray was like talking about, like the strange death of Europe, that the land is changing, the face of the land is changing, the ideology of the land is changing, and the people at the levers of power are realizing how less and less control they have, basically. So
well, now Raquel says it's really a religious war, and now I am not religiously trained by any sense of the imagination, but I understand that the problem with the Islamic faith is that it's jihadic.
It's not a religious thing. It's not the religious Muslims.
I disagree.
Go
on.
the Palestinians are not like the Hamas people are not the super religious Muslims. They're not.
Oh, he got a call to save him from this nonsense. Zach says, you haven't even mentioned the earthquakes and volcanic activity in the last month. Not saying there's a correlation. Sorry, Jacob, go ahead.
It's the fact is that the people who are most nationalistic tend to be the people who are the least religious.
Because they've replaced nationalism in the religion hole.
Exactly.
But that doesn't change the fact that at least Hamas uses the jihadic religion to train people for jihad and use them as such, correct?
Yeah, but that's Islamism is one form of Islam. I don't think the vast majority of Muslims end up with the type of philosophy of Islamism. And frankly, Islamism comes more from political perversion of.
So when I say it's a jihadine religion that promotes jihad, you say that that's just the nationalist Islamics.
Yeah, and frankly, I say the same thing about the Zionists.
And there's only one, and Weinstein said there's only one form. So you claim that all of the other Muslims have disregarded that portion of what's in the thing they call holy.
No, but so for example, when Ayatollah Khomeini came up with his nationalistic Vilayat Faqih, he was ostracized by all of the other leaders in most of the other leaders in Shiite Islam. So this is Shia. It's one small group within Islam. I think they're like 10% or something.
But they got a portion of the book.
What do you mean they got a portion of the book?
That they use.
Well,
it says they're supposed to be this way, sort of like kill everybody who doesn't submit.
Okay, so Khomeini had his version of Shia Islam. And the fact is that the Islamic Republic of Iran has trouble finding ayatollahs who will support that version of Islam because most of the ayatollahs don't agree with that.
Hezi, do you have some comments here?
Well, I missed a lot of that because I was on a phone call, but I definitely
think he just said that he's doing
Islamism and Zionism are pretty much 2 coins of the same thing.
That jihad's not in the book, and
I can't. We're not going to get down to the breakdown and the nuances and of Zionism and where I find myself on that spectrum. However, I'll just say like this: the 3 major religions, Islam. Well, not the 3. Most of the religions, even if they have bad code, over the years, due to their oral Torah or their sages, have softened how that code gets interpreted. Some do so willy-nilly, some do so.
For the Zionist side or the Islamic side?
I'm speaking also for the Christian side, but also the Jewish side right now, which is like if you need a stone the person who desecrates the Sabbath on the ground, that doesn't happen. Because we realize, when it says this verse, it means 1, 2, 3, 4, only on a Sunday, only if his name is Bob. So it's basically not going to happen. You don't have that in the Quran, Hadith, Surah. It just doesn't exist. And people that talk about, we're talking about the jihad of the hearts. Any serious imam that's actually religious knows that's a gobbledygook. There isn't jihad of the hearts. And when we talk about a hudna, which is like some sort of peace, anyone that is a serious Muslim knows that means temporary peace until I could then conquer. So that is ideology that our ideology, the Western ideology, can play nice with many different ideologies. Islam doesn't want to play nice. I preface that with, I love my Arab cousins. I can't wait for peace with Ishmael. Hopefully we'll all be together at the temple. I don't mind having a Arab prime minister It's totally fine having that in Israel. They're all welcome here. I don't mind having Arab employees. I love them. However, no more killy, right? So if someone steals, there's no chopping hands. And what you see, how intense it gets in a protest. Like if you draw Muhammad, we're gonna kill you. It's just too intense, guys. Like everyone has to like lower their level of intensity. So until they do that, yeah.
It's So one thing that concerns me is, as I'm interested in Christian revelations and whatever other ones I can have, is I understand that in the Quran, the closest thing to a book of Revelation they have suggests a time on the planet when basically Gaza gets bombed to shit. And are you familiar with the Quran enough to know if that's in there? It's been quoted to me as like all the world's hands will be against him section. We don't.
The Quran is really short and cryptic, and I would be very surprised if there's something like that anywhere in it.
I again, like Jacob, I'm not well versed enough to tell you off the bat that like yes, I know what you're talking about, but it's very much unlike the Bible, which keeps on ripping into the Jews constantly. There's not much self-ripping going on in the Quran. More like there are the nations that were under the rule of Islam that will be under the rule of Islam again, and there are nations that have not yet been under the rule of Islam, but eventually we're going to catch them as well. They've also, they've spoken about how Islam twice in their history tried to conquer Europe and failed, and now they're just going to do that through the white man's political system and just take over it through numbers. And they talk about it very openly, and everyone's like, "Oh, those Muslims, they're."
That's actually we can tie it into this little corner to the extent that it's still connected to what's left of the IDW, with the talk of Weinstein and Rubin being about this thing. Is like, does the First Amendment freedom of religion allow for murderous religions? And that's an issue that I think our ARC friends are going to be promoting. Personally, we have laws, we have a system built into our Constitution that allows us to update it, and I think we need a Fifth Amendment convention, but that's always been a hard sell.
This is downstream, though, from I use this. I've said this often, but so excuse me, people that heard this. You'll forgive me, people that heard this, but ultimately, this is all downstream from postmodernism and the fact that we've completely dismantled how we use words and concepts. And the example I go to is when you look at the dictionary today, the word literally also means now figuratively, right? Because we just completely destroyed that word. And that's true about good and evil, mother, father, boy, girl. So you have a state where like we've been.
Whoa. Oh, I just had a potential insight.
Sure.
It's like the other team pulling a Babel and confounding the tongues.
Oh, 1,000%. So no productive construction could happen. And instead of building a tower up to the sky to challenge God, rather, let's just get rid of all narratives and all towers, and then we don't even have to hear about this conversation God anymore, right? And let's just create like this complete devastation that you have. So you have Hebrew,
and then we can build back better. Oh no!
You have Abraham the Hebrew that decides to go to the other side of the river, right, and stand alone and forge his own path. And unfortunately, it's far and few between are the people you see today that are willing to stand up and forge their own path, or at least speak truth. Because like I said, you're stuck today when if I've been challenging you to say that math is racist, how am I then going to explain to you about proportionality and why this missile was okay, but this missile wasn't okay? Like, I lost. Like 1 + 1 is racist. So yes, obviously if I bomb the hospital, it doesn't matter what happens there. It's bad news. So we're, as a society, we trapped ourselves. And like you just said about these gory, the gore stuff you're watching, people are just watching a tremendous amount of, people getting killed, murdered, burnt, and I was like, whoa, it's so intense. Like, we're not made to watch that kind of stuff and then have discussions online, like, was it real? Like, it doesn't look according to the projectile that his body really blew up. And who's talking about this? Like, some 15-year-old kid is giving us, like, advice of, like, this doesn't look like the right kind of blood splatter. It's nuts.
And we have the beautiful family dinners where, like, we had, how was school today, Jimmy? And he's just spent 3 hours watching body parts on TikTok. Mr. Fats, it's your turn to weigh back in.
So I remember when I first came to the United States, I was at my cousin's house, and he went and he started making himself a microwave dinner. And I said to him, like, when are we going to have dinner? And he said, well, everyone just makes their own dinner. I was like, what do you mean? When are we all going to get together and have dinner? And he said, no, this is America. You don't do that. And I thought he was right. And I later found out, no, actually, we just believed the TV when they told us that Americans don't have dinner together. And that's wrong.
The power of set.
Yeah.
Well, that was a
On
nice
that note,
spin. I'm going to run some branding.
I bid you guys
Hezzy,
adieu.
for
Take
coming.
care. Stay safe.
Thank you,
Later,
Jacob,
Hezzy.
for coming. Thank you for everybody for watching this 4-hour stream. And thanks to everybody who made it all possible. And look at this. KJ became a member. Ups helped out. Raquel with a little bit. Weeks. Thanks, everybody. It makes it all possible. Jacobs, thanks for coming by. Then remove, and it's just me, and then we play some special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all. And we'll take the train on out of here. Thanks, everybody. It's been and then where's the train? It's been an adventure.